We've come a long way, and this is the third episode of Physics of Flight. And here's where it all comes together. We'll cover reach back mechanics, how to create a straight pull, and making sure the follow through doesn't mess everything up. Let's get started. The reach back sets the height of the throw. Whatever happens in the reach back will be reflected on the other side. For a high throw, the reach back should be low by the waist, and for a low shot, the reach back should be a little higher around chest height, but never any higher. Rather than being mirrored on the other side, a higher reach back will dip and cause the throw to come out nose up. A helpful drill for this is to reach back and grab something. Feeling the height with the most power will give a base to develop muscle memory from. Alright, this is the easiest part of the reach back to mess up or misunderstand. The reach back needs to be straight back. That means no part of the disc is blocked from the target by the torso. The whole disc should be able to see the target. It's common to reach back too far left, setting up the disc behind the shoulders, and that can cause rounding. There are some pros who don't reach straight back, but that's not how they started. Everyone starts with a straight pull, and some deviate from that later. Everyone can throw far with a straight pull, and it's necessary to learn that before trying to copy the techniques of the farthest throwers. And a straight pull isn't a low-powered throw. I'd highly suggest filming a throw from behind if you're checking your reach back to make sure it's straight. So reach back timing, this is what syncs up the lower body and the upper body. Lots of people have trouble knowing when they should activate different parts of their lower body and different parts of their upper body, but if your reach back timing is correct, in my experience, everything else tends to sort of fall into place, and there's just minor adjustments to make from there. So what is proper reach back timing? Proper reach back timing is so your reach back peaks when your front foot hits the ground. That means that your leg going forward and your arm going backwards are opposite movements. That means you can stay balanced and you're in control the whole time. It's very common to reach back early. That means reaching back either during the X step or at some other point in the throw, and that means the disc is more likely to be taken offline. So if I reach back early here, and then I reach forward to plant my foot, the disc is drawn behind my shoulders. And remember, in the reach back, we want to have the disc straight so it goes straight forward. Reaching back on time also means that I'm more likely to get my hips turned at the correct time. If I reach back early, that means my shoulders are turning early and my hips are going to want to follow, and that might help get my left foot backwards, taking out that alignment in the X step. So if I keep my X step sideways and I delay my reach back till my last step, that's actually going to help turn my hips at the right time. So they're closing my stance here and they have range of motion to move forward and power the shot. From the peak of the reach back, the disc needs to go straight forward. That means as the hips and shoulders turn, the elbow needs to bend to keep the disc on that line. Lots of people will have problems with timing when the hips should activate or when the shoulders should turn, but it's all at the same time. The thing is, it's all at different speeds. The shoulders and hips aren't moving fast. They're more like anchors for the arm and elbow to pivot on. All right, this is going to blow some minds. The only joint moving on the upper body during the throw is the elbow. If I rotate the frame aligned with the shoulders, the elbow is the only thing that bends. Everything so far has been working towards one joint. The disc moving along its straight line comes in front of the chest, and at this point it's in the power pocket. This is when the arm is folded around the disc, and all the force generated so far is about to unfold the arm, sending the disc flying. Getting into this position is required in order to throw powerfully. Notice the wrist is flat, not curling the disc in, as that would reduce range of motion in the elbow. All right, so upper body timing. Timing can be fine in the lower body, and timing can be synced up correctly between the upper body and the lower body, but if the timing isn't right in the upper body, throw is not going to be powerful. It's crucial to get the disc in front of the shoulders. It's really, really common to reach back across the body and have the disc drag behind the shoulders. That means that your shoulders, which aren't particularly fast moving, are the fastest moving part of the throw. And that means they're not going to be very powerful. If you get the disc in front of the shoulders, then the arm whips out in front rather than dragging behind. Step one to this is having a good reach back, having a straight reach back. If the reach back is across the body, the disc is already behind the shoulders. You want this joint here between your collarbone and your humerus, I guess. You want that joint to stay at 90 degrees or bigger the whole time. So for reach back, you need to reach wide. See how this is bigger than 90 degrees here. Then as I pull the disc in, it gets close to 90 degrees. It starts to shrink down some, but when I'm going forward from there, it only gets bigger. If the disc is behind my shoulders, then this angle here is going to be smaller than 90 degrees. And that means I'm not getting the correct power out of my upper body. So the other thing that's common is under-rotating the shoulders. This is what I tend to do if I'm missing a shot. And that means I'm reaching back good, and then I'm just smashing the disc forward, and my shoulders haven't even had a chance to turn forwards yet. It would seem like that would be powerful, but it's not, because it's not a powerful motion. The arm is just swinging by itself. Whereas if the shoulders are moving too, then they're going to be a good anchor point and they're going to leverage the power. It's basically strong arming. If I try and throw it really, really hard, I'm going to tense up and bring the disc in front of my shoulders. But if I stay smooth and I stay loose and slow, then I'm going to be pulling the disc in with my shoulders, and it's going to be a lot more powerful. Also, the left arm needs to stay tight to your side. I always say to take your left hand and move it down your left leg. Well, so during the reach back, your left hand can go up, it can stay down. It really doesn't matter what the left hand does during the reach back, but as the throw starts, the shoulders need to be rotating. The left arm is a lot of what keeps the shoulders rotating, because if it's out here, it's going to be slowing down that rotation, and it's not going to be helping to power the shot. Now, there are some throwers like Paige Pierce who have their left arm here or above the disc sometimes. That is okay because of the way they do it. Normally, when you have a left arm come over the disc or in front of anything, it means the whole shoulders are rotating and the disc is again behind them. But the way they do it is correct because they still bring the disc in straight. All right, back out here with Robert McCall, we're talking about angle integrity. That is keeping the disc on the same angle through the whole throw. So Robert, if you're throwing a hyzer, you're gonna reach back on that hyzer angle, and then as he pulls it, the disc is gonna stay on that same angle tilted towards the ground. And what this does is it forces your weight over your toes, and it forces you in that position to be the most powerful while throwing the hyzer. Now, if you're gonna throw an anhyzer, you're gonna reach back a little bit higher, and you're gonna reach back the disc on that anhyzer angle. That forces your weight back a little bit, and it's going to be easier to maintain the nose down angle and keep the disc on that anhyzer line. So the follow through needs to match the plane of the shot. So Robert, if you're throwing a hyzer, your follow through is going to want to be up and over your right shoulder. I see a lot of times people will try and throw hyzers or try and throw flat shots, and they'll follow through down. And what that does is it tilts the disc up and means it's going to have a nose up release right at the last second. So everything else can be right, but if the follow through doesn't match the plane, you're not going to get a good flight. It's been 3 episodes of densely packed information about the backhand throw, but from here, it's all up to you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Physics of Flight.